subqueries. You'll see where you use the subqueries, and then we'll now go further and now use talk about what we call CTEs, or the common table expressions, and where they work, where you use them, and what they help you with. So for CTEs, we'll cover like a small bit of it because subqueries by themselves are quite technical, and actually we are before schedule in terms of what we should have covered by second week. I'm seeing like by what we have covered right now, we are remaining about the few topics like views. We have procedures. We then have views, procedures, and then we have another one we call where what is it called? I'm missing the name. So we have all that, and then maybe not performance indices, procedures, views, and don't remember. I'm missing one, but we are remaining very few topics. Oh, window functions. So after now covering subqueries and CTEs, we'll now cover the window functions. Then we'll see how to automate processes using procedures and to save things inside procedures. Then we'll see how views work, how you save them locally in your database, like that. So let us now start. So we'll do an example on joins, and the example will be we want to find the names of students who are enrolled in at least one course. So so ensure you've connected to your SQL server, and then here select the database that we are working with, the data lab DB. And then on a new query, we want to find students who are enrolled in at least one course. At least one course. So the first thing that you usually ask yourself in this case is, how do you know someone is enrolled in a course? So what allows you to know that is that if someone is enrolled to a course, and especially with the database that we are working with, then their details or their student ID, the students in particular, will be in the enrollments table. So what you are going to do here is now select the student IDs that are enrollment. So whatever the student IDs are here, student ID from enrollments, like that. Now you have selected these student IDs from enrollments, but now you want to see who are these people when these are their student IDs. So you can come here and now select, you say select now the first name. So we can do concat, semi-concat, then first name. So hapa tunataka combine the full name with concat. I hope you remember yesterday on string functions. Last name, then as student, and then from students. Then you include a where clause. You say where student ID in. Then you enclose this subquery in a parenthesis or the bracket. So what happens in subqueries is that the inner query is usually executed first. So it execute first, it will return all the student IDs that are in enrollments. Then the outer query will execute, and now it will now filter where the student ID are in this. You remember in the in operator when you are doing filtering, it filters a list. It checks if something is in a list and then it filters it. Now when we execute, you will see all the students who have enrolled in at least one course. I hope you're able to get that concept. Okay, so kindly write that, and then you can ask questions if you have any. Preston? Okay, you can ask the question.
Yes.
Or was it a mistake?
No. I wanted to ask. Okay, when you are when you are writing the first query,
Yes.
the concat or is it like why are you not like writing it like select first name for the? Can you like write a query for it to bring like the first name only and the students from the without?
Yeah. Yes. You can do that. So it's just that why I'm using concat and using now the full name of the student is because for whenever you use the first name, you will find some people are sharing the first name, but it's rare you find like people are sharing both their names.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so let us do another example. The same. The next example is we want to check courses that have students enrolled. So we want to show courses have students enrolled. So, and what are these courses? For you to know that a course has students enrolled, then the course ID for that course needs to be in the enrollment table. So the first thing that you'll do is select the course ID. Let me first admit that one. So select course ID from enrollments, like that. So whenever now it comes to these queries, then you tunafanya these subqueries, it is essential you start with the inner query. The inner query is the one that does a lot of the heavy lifting. After you've done the inner query, the outer query is actually easier to do. The outer query now becomes now the just for display. So we want to select course ID from enrollments. Then we'll now select the course name. We want to see which course now on that course ID. Select course name from courses. And then you want to use a where clause. You say where the course ID in is in this list. So we return all the courses whose course ID are in this list. Because this inner query, we return a list. So how SQL executes is the inner query will executes first. So here it return a list of course IDs that are in enrollments. And then sasa, what we'll do with the outer query will now select from this list. You remember the way we were doing like this, tukifanya filtering, tulikuwa tunataka kama kufanya show where payment method iko kama M-Pesa or bank. So what we were doing here, we were selecting like the payment method or not the payment method, but we are selecting all from payments, where payment method in, then we were providing like a list. We got to provide M-Pesa, the bank, like this. So that's what is happening now. It's selecting like something like this. So this inner query, yeah, select course ID from enrollments, it's creating something like this. Yes. Like this. So that's what is happening. It's working the same way this one would work. Okay, so like this. Now we write it now in terms of subquery. So let me remove that. So hope it's understandable. Please don't write this one. Yeah, show payment method this one to avoid confusion. I was just showing you how this in operator works. Okay, so write that in case you have any questions. The floor is yours to ask. So for Moses, no, you can't use that. Because if you are seeing where the student ID is not equal to null, it wouldn't show that. Yes, you can do that if you're not using subqueries, but if you are using subqueries, it wouldn't work. That would only work if now you used Kitukama, because you're working with courses now enrollments, if you are using joins. But because you are using subqueries, it wouldn't work. Anybody else with a question? Write that. Anybody else with a question? Let us do another example. So, another example. Okay. If you don't have any questions, how about you attempt this? So, show the student with the highest student ID. Show that. So hapa combine max. You use max. Max ndio itakuonyesha or the biggest. The biggest or the biggest. Maybe the biggest. Student ID. Biggest in terms of common 1, 2, 3. So you will use max, but you need to enclose it in a subquery. How would you do that? So do it. I'll give you like 5 minutes. So try to tackle that. Then you know how to evaluate you guys and see if you're getting the concepts. So whenever you're done, just show me the thumbs up. So 3 more minutes remaining. So John is done. Press done. How many of you have been able to do it now? J and yeah. So how we should do this? This one will be a bit different. You need to use in, because the first thing you need to obtain is understand how do you get this student with the biggest student ID. So you need to get the biggest student ID. So na nimesema utatumia max. So you'll select max student ID from students, like that. So now you want to know who is this person. So what you do is select. Now you can concat. So I usually use concat because some people may share their name, so it's better to put it like this. And from students, where student ID is equals, but hapa sasa utatumia equals, you won't use in because it is a single value. In, you use it when you are returning multiple values, where the inner query returns multiple values. But this is just returning one. Now when we execute here, you can only see Ivy Akinyi. So that's how you should have done it. So like that. Christine.
Sorry, question.
Yes.
Why do we have like this bracket on the next line? Can it just be on the same line with?
Yes, it can be the same. It's just to make it maybe more look a bit better. And if I put it on this same line, it would go, it will overflow to here, and you wouldn't see.
I mean,
So,
like on line 13.
so what bracket? Or
The
this one?
closing.
Oh, I'll just put it there just for the sake. It just no meaning. You can put it here. There's no special meaning. You can put it here. But it looks better this way than the way it look. Even most of the time, you can put it even like this. Like this. So like this. So that's how you should do it. Hope I've answered your question.
Yes, you have.
Okay. Okay, anybody with a question? Anybody with a question? Okay, so let us do another example. So what we have been doing, the subqueries have come in a where statement. So you go after a where, we have put a where clause, and then basically we have been filtering from those subqueries. Now you can use you don't have to use it where, you can use it even in the select statement. So here when you are selecting the columns here, upper, you can add now a subquery here. So let us do an example that uses such. And this example will be showing each student, will be showing each student alongside the number of courses. So we'll select, select, and then select. Then we do concat. So now let us just copy this because you have done it once. Unaweza cookie, just copy this, will be pasting it each time instead of repeating it every time. But I understand concat because you're going to be using it a lot of time. So comma, now we introduce a subquery here. So we introduce the subquery here. So we select that, then the subquery will be here. We open brackets. We are going to select count of all, from count of all as total courses, select that as total courses, and from enrollments, like that, from enrollments. Then we will enrollments will be represented by an E. Then we include a where, we say where E dot student ID is equals to S dot student ID. Here it's not like the way we are doing it for joins. Joins, you remember we are using on. So what we are trying to do here is just match each student with the courses that they are doing. So equal, you're matching each student to the course that they are doing. So all this, like that. So I forgot. Okay, who is asking? Jay.
Should you not add S after student in the first line of this query?
Here. Oh yes. Not after student, but this is an alias. EC students. We haven't selected students table, bado. So here. So here is where I should have added S equal S dot last name, like that. Then I select all these as total courses. Total courses. Then now select this from students, like that. Students S. Now execute. So now when you scroll down here, you will see each student and the number of courses that they are doing, even while when you're on 0. Like that. So you can see the subquery this time iko hapa katikati kwenye una choose. You see, and even you're creating an alias for that subquery for what is returned by that subquery. You see. Anybody have another question? Can ask as you write that.
I don't think mine has. I think mine has a syntax error or something.
Okay, would you mind sharing?
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out where the mistake is.
I was saying there's no comma after student. You see at the top there's student. Put a comma.
Yeah.
Yes. Then
Oh.
now execute.
What does that one do?
Because that whatever you are selecting, whatever you are doing in that subquery, is basically like it's another column you are selecting. So you are selecting another. So the comma itself is just to show that. That's why. Can you now execute? Execute that query.
Oh, like
You
this.
scroll down there. You can see it has created two columns: the
Yeah.
name and the total courses. It's because the subquery in itself will create a column.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Anybody else? Anybody else? So we have seen that in that case, the subquery is in the select statement. Let us do another one, where now the subquery will be in the from keyword. So it will be from. So we'll be selecting from the subquery. So let us create such. So well, let me see if you're getting this. It's something that I've done, but now I want you guys to do it. So try this. Get course with the lowest student ID. And you try to do that. Try to do that. We have done such a like a query. Can you now do it? Well, you see if you are able to. So I want to see how many of you are getting this concept, because I know that it's not as easy, but now we are getting into you knew the course itself. Last week it was flowing, but now you're now seeing that SQL has some few levels, but they're still easy if you understand. It's the most. It can help you a lot, especially in your workflow. So how is it taking you guys? If you finish, just show me the thumbs up. Let me see who are getting this concept. It's actually similar to the one we did for marks. It's just that here tuangalia lowest, pale tulikuwa tuangalia highest. Ile yenye tulifanya ya the student with the marks, student ID. So this the difference also ni we are using a course. Oh, I forgot. Not the lowest course ID, but the lowest student ID. Sorry. Put it in the wrong one. Lowest course ID. So for those people who have been errors. Okay.
Even lowest student ID works. You just have to do 3 layers of queries.
Okay, no problem. But it was this one. So
We do
so
again for this one.
Okay, yes, you can
Just
do
give
this
us
one.
a few minutes then. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, I forgot. I put it in the wrong way. And also for the notes I've been sending, there is you can see that there's usually some practice. So one there is in my range questions. So actually this one has the same. It has easy level questions, medium, and now the toughest ones. So you should try either. One how if you're getting these concepts. Okay, so taking you guys. So we now do the final one, the final example, where we'll be selecting from it. But there's a lot to do now when it comes to subqueries. Can use them in having clouds. There's a lot. The queries that are there, a lot of them have answers. So some of them have answers, especially the advanced ones have answers. But those medium level ones do not have answers. And the advanced one have answers. So you can check those. I'll send you the notes directly after class. And actually, if you are using this to get for the job market and the like, the questions that especially on interviews, there is a like a recurring theme where they test a lot of subqueries. So subqueries would help, especially if you want to pass some interviews or something like that. But now when you want to use them in they are usually subqueries are good for interviews and getting in. They test a lot, but you rarely but be using subqueries in your queries. You'll find you will prefer joins or what we run after in ITO CTEs because they perform better at scale than subqueries. And the joins and the others are more readable than subqueries. But they are good for interviews. Jay.
Maybe you'll cover this in a future lesson, in which case I apologize.
Yes.
But I wanted to ask, how do you like filter column for only the values that are not null? Is that possible?
Yes. Yes. You just use the not operator.
Oh, not null, that's it.
Yes, not null.
Oh, so that's the one thing I need to do.
Yes.
That I don't know how to do, but I'm using SAP, which is a software that I'm using SQL to access.
Okay. Yes. You can use not null. Okay, so 1 moment, then I'll just solve it. So 755, I'll just solve. So let me solve it. So this is how we should have done it. So the course with the lowest course ID. So you just select then the mean. You just use mean course ID from courses. So that's the inner query. Then you just select the course name here. So you select course name, from courses, where course ID is equal. Now this the value of this subquery here. Is how you do it. The value of this subquery. So this is how you do it. Okay, execute and scroll down here. You'll see SQL basics. That's how you should have done it. That's how you should have done it.
Hi.
Hi.
In this instance, can you use join? Because the custom ID,
The customer course.
The custom ID is cuts across the two.
Yes. That's why I was saying you can use joins.
Okay.
Yes, you can use joins, but in this case, because we are learning subqueries, that's why we are using subqueries. But you can
Okay.
use joins. Yes. Okay, so let us now do another one, but now it will be we'll be selecting from now the subquery. So the example will be on the example will be on let us do it. So we want to select the student ID and the count as total courses. So we are going to select at first the student ID, comma, then count of all as total courses. So courses like that as total courses. Then we are doing all that from our enrollments table, from enrollments. Then we now do a group by. Remember, whenever you are selecting anything in an aggregation, you have to group. So we want to group by the student ID. Group by student ID. Then, so basically, this will return some output. Basically, it will create some sort of a temporary table. So you can basically select from it. So unaweza kuja hapo kufanya select all from, then you just use this subquery as your temporary table, like that. And it still work. So select all from, something I'm missing. And also you have to put an alias as course counts, as course counts. So it will create this temporary table that you can select from it. So it won't be clear because you can achieve the same output without putting here in a subquery, without this outer query. But it's just that if we were selecting multiple columns here, a lot more than this, you could select anything from this table. You can, as you can see here, you can basically select from a subquery. In from. Subquery in from that. Okay, so now, don't know if anybody has another question. We now do another example, and we'll do what we call a correlated subquery. So, and what's a correlated subquery? So a correlated subquery is different because it runs once for every row processed by the outer query. So basically, it refers to the columns in the outer query. Let us do it. For example, so correlated subquery. So let us do it. So we'll do an example. So we want to select the okay. So I want to do one. So I'm thinking of how to implement which to choose the example. But this one, find the students with more than one course. One course. So how we solve this is we select and concat the first name, comma, last name as more than one course. So student. Then we now so select that from students from from students where we now run a selected where we select the count from enrollment. So from student S, from students S, and then I have to include S dot first name, S dot last name. So where you select, and you're selecting the count of all, from enrollments. Where E dot where enrollment E. Go to match each enrollment with the student ID. So to ensure that we match each enrollment to the student ID, to the correct student ID, like that. So to match each student their enrollments. So we close. But now we want to evaluate this query. We don't want to select everything. So we now want to select where the count of the course, this count is greater than 1. That. Now when we execute and now check, it will show us the 2 students who have more than one course that they are doing. So we call this a correlated query because it runs once for every row because it is running and then it is checking if that condition is met. And now it is printing. Now it is so what's happening here? It is first doing this. It's first running this. Now after running this and producing each student, so provide like a student, check there what is the count for that specific student, the count of the courses that they are doing. When it checks it now runs this query and checks if there is that count greater than 1. Then if we, in case it ignore, if it is, in a print sasa. So we can say Brian Mutwa Asiatieno here. So that's what is happening. So that's the final thing on subqueries. That's the final thing on subqueries. Okay, so yeah, that's good. So now let me go through the next topic that we should cover, which is the CTEs. So you can save that as subqueries. I'll send you the notes and the recording. So the new query, open CTEs. So what is a CTE? A CTE, the full name for CTE is Common Table Expressions. Common Table Expressions. And we usually refer to CTEs as, usually have frame them as common table expressions. So CTEs are a temporary result set. They are a temporary result set. A temporary result set. So a temporary result set that acts like a table. That acts like a table, and you can select from it, and you can create queries from it. For CTE, its work is because we use them because CTEs help, especially when queries become complex, because they can break down large queries into small logical steps, and they make SQL easier to read. They also make debugging easier. Debugging is basically removing errors from your code, and also they allow you to reuse query results within the same query. So how a CTE starts? It starts with the basic structure of it. You define it with a with keyword, with. So nasema with, then the CTE's name. So let us do some few examples for you to see. So we'll do, not a few examples. We will do just a single example for you to understand what our CTE is structured, and then for you to understand, to know how, when to use it. But then for tomorrow, we now go deeper into CTEs. Okay, so we want to show each student and the number of courses that they are enrolled in. To show each student and the number of courses they are enrolled in. Now let us do it here. So we will start with the definition. We'll say with student course count, student course count as that. Then we now select what we want to select. We want to select the student ID and the count as total courses. Select the student ID, comma, the count of all as total courses. Now this is selecting from enrollments. Then we want to group by the student ID. We close this like that. So now the next thing is we now select. So we select what the select statement. So select. Then we want to select the first name. Let us do it in a concat. So it's in a concat. First name, comma, quotation marks, a space, comma, last name as student. Then a student. Then we want the total courses. So because student course count, we have said the definition is a CTE is a temporary result set. So for this CTE, it creates like a temporary table. So above it was with student course count. So with it's just definition. You are defining that what you are creating here is a CTE. Then creating now the CTE code here. So here you can say instead of that one, you can do CTE. It is. But then here, what happens is that, yes, you have select with student course count and all that, or say you have done the concat and the like. So that's CTE. Then, so it's acting as a temporary table. So you can do even joins on it. So, and that's what we are going to do here. We are going to select concat, student name, comma. Then because it's acting as a temporary table, you can extract this count as total courses. So these total courses, as if you would do a normal column. So you'll do. So to attack a student course count will be represented by C. So it has C dot total courses. Total courses. PIE first name is equal S dot first name, now equal S dot last name. Like that. Then we now include from students. S, we now do a join. So nikisema a single join like this without saying inner or full outer or right, I mean the inner join. So this is the inner join. So a default a single join inamaanisha inner join. So join is an S dot student ID. Student ID is equals to E dot not E but C dot student ID. Like that. So what is this? Join on. Oh, I forgot it on. I forgot. So you are joining the student course count. Student course count C. C on that. So that's how you should write it. So whenever you execute it, you can now see the output showing you student, the total courses of each student. Like that. So these are CTE. So this is storing this temporarily, and then now you can select now from this CTE. You can perform joins. So this is your the code for what is stored. So in a create like a temporary table called student count. So whatever is run here, the output is saved into a temporary table to enter student course count, and that student course count, unaweza select from it as what we have done here. You can even perform joins on it as what we have done here. Who was trying to ask a question? Can I ask the question? Ask that question. Okay, so then write it. We're basically done. That. So we're basically done with today's class. So that's it now. We'll do more on CTEs tomorrow. So take a minute to understand what was done. You'll be good.
I'm getting an error. I don't know whether
Excuse me, Sam.
Oh, okay.
Could you share the notes in the group?
Yes, I will share.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else with a question?
Let me present. I'm getting an error. I'm trying to understand.
Okay, can you share the screen?
You can see my screen?
Yes. So the error is syntax near from. So the error is because you have written a comma after, so the comma is near from. So it should be a comma followed by, unafaa select a C dot. Andika C, hapo after comma, after that comma, and after student, kwenye umesema student, not students, student. Yeah, andika comma. After the comma now, C dot total count, total courses. Yes, like that. And it disappears. So now you can execute. The error now you're having is near student because you have selected a student ID, but it should be student ID. And hapo juu kwa the course count. Unaona with student course count as, then inside there umeandika select students ID. It should be student. And the other one, did you haujasema from student S? Like zima usema from student then S. Eka S. Not there. Huko chini. From students, select from student, then hapo space. After students, there should be space. Students, ni students, then kuna S iko kando. Andika
Okay.
S. Now execute. Okay, so now you can see. Yes, so it should look like that. So it's okay now.
I know, but I hope we will get to work with another database, because now if you give me some another database, maybe I'll be having this challenge. I don't know how it will go about this one.
Okay, so yes, I'll give you another database.
Okay, no, thank you.
Okay. Anybody else with a question? Okay, so anybody with a question you can ask, but we're basically done for today. Preston.
I wanted you to, going back to subqueries,
Yes.
there's this challenge that find courses that have more students than the average course.
Find.
Find courses
Yes.
that have more
Find
students.
So find
courses
that have
more students than the average course.
Than the average course.
Yes.
Average course. Find courses that have more students than the average course. So the average course. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, so you want me to do this using the subquery?
It was in the PDF, but it's a bit tricky.
Okay. So find courses that have more students than the average course. So average course. So we'll start by defining now. So select and the course name. Course name from courses. Where so we'll use the same as this one. So that have more students than the average course. We'll then select and we'll count. We do a count of all enrollments. Course. And the average course. Have more students than the average course. Was it saying than the average course?
Yes, yes, it was. Mm-hmm. Let me check. Challenge.
Let me see.
7. The mixed challenge exercises. Challenge 4.
Find courses that have more students than average course. And the average course. That's correct. Incorrectly worded because average in terms of what? Because there's no average course.
Okay.
So that's incorrectly worded. The only way it would have been is that if you calculated the average of in terms of how many students are there, and that is basically this one here to find out a student ID like this. So that's incorrectly worded. Yes. That's incorrectly worded. There's no way you can do that because there's no way to do what's the average cost.
Yeah, yeah, makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. The only way you could have done that is maybe done like this. So the average for the course, because you can see most are ones, obviously the average will be around one, because
Yes.
if most people are in one, so you can select from enrollments, and then you just check why it's maybe greater than one, like that, and you return it. So select and scroll down here. Now seeing this one, so select course name where the count from enrollments is greater than one. This one, but all these have more than two people. So in your students, I don't know how many courses have more than two people, but these are a lot. There are 15.
So like the title for that query will be find courses that
We can do it like this, where we now group by, we provide a group by. So, but actually, yes, we can provide a group by. So we do it like select the course ID, and then we count all. So we select the course ID, then we count all. So like this, we count all like this, and we group by.
course ID.
Group by, and then we group by the course ID. Course ID, like this. But it would return each course with its own. So here you can say where, and now the course ID is here. ID is in, yeah, like that, like that. And this wouldn't work. So yeah, actually it's incorrectly worded. It wouldn't work. It's incorrectly worded, that one. So ignore that number 4.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, so that's about it now. Okay, anybody else have a question? See you tomorrow for cities.